In the ancient land of Greece, gods were watching us from above. They have control over many things: lightning, war, wine, and even mortal's life. Take the myth of Sisyphus as an example. A poor king that was cursed by the gods to forever push a boulder up a hill. Each time the boulder is about to reach the top, it will roll back down again, and again, and again. But what if this backbreaking climb was an awesome journey about how you fight your way out of hell, combining with some legendary artifacts and godly power that was bestowed upon you by gods? And what if, instead of having to start from scratch every time you failed, you get a little bit stronger, knowing more allies along the way, and even so, facing against enemies that remember your attempts? That is Hades for you. A Greek mythology-themed roguelike game developed by Supergiant that just leave early access about 2 weeks ago, that makes fighting out of hell a joyful ride. You are Zagreus, the son of Hades, prince of the underworld, fighting through maze after maze. As you fight through hordes of skilled enemies, the true vision of Zagreus slowly unveiled. Enemies that are capable of filling the screen with dangerous projectiles and deadly blows in rooms that are randomly generated, just like a labyrinth. A never-ending cycle that keeps you within your father's reach. But Zagreus is one tough cookie. He was not going down without a fight. With the weapons and artifacts at his disposal, he is ready to take on the power of Hades. There are 6 different weapons that he can wield, each with unique playstyle and synergy. Want to be straightforward with your approach? Then try using a spear and spear through them like a kebab. Want to bash enemies face in? Then channel your inner Athena and bash them with the aegis. Later, more choices will be unlocked, and each has a very different playstyle, and thus creating one of the many layers of replayability. You can dash. You can fire projectiles for a quick burst of damage. You can wield weapons that had a different style. You've got moves, I give you that. And even so, there's only so much you can do. The power of Hades is no joke. Your father is the god of death, the king of the underworld. If he wants to keep you in the underworld away from other Olympian gods, he will. And he will have some tricks up his sleeves. Inevitably, the might of Hades will overwhelm you, and every death sends Zack back home, right at the beginning. But fear not, my friend. Your currencies and the relationship with a wide cast of characters who live in the underworld were saved. And you are gonna spend a lot of time in the House of Hades time and time again. But unlike a usual game, dying in Hades is not a penalty. It's a chance to try new things, meet new characters, and even getting stronger. In a normal roguelike game, combat is almost everything. Yet in Hades, there is a balance between stories, interactions, and combat. I mean, you gotta have combat, right? The other end of the balance lies within Zack's interactions with other deities and mythical figures from Greek mythologies, like my boy Achilles, his companion Patroclus, and more. That's where the secret ingredient came in handy. By adding a dating simulator mechanics, now all the other characters can come into play. They are all in the picture now instead of being a neglectable part of a game. It might sound a bit cheesy, but I'm glad they did. Each personality is a pretty close representation of a classical myth. The way they speak, the way they act, are all precious to behold. For example, Dionysus or Dionysus, the god of wine, every time he appears in an attempt, his way of speaking makes me smile.
I'll keep my soul for now.
That underworld of yours places a real pit, isn't it, Zack? A shame you're stuck down there. But we are gonna get you out of there together, you and I.
He's just high in the sky. Hey yo, stop drinking and help me, please. By investing time and item into relationships with other deities and figures, set the scene for a grand backstory reveal. New worlds, new quest, or token of affection that helps you on your future attempts. This is what makes Hades differs from other roguelike games. Supergiant games use these relationships to walk a bumpy way of combining story with gameplay. Doing so elevates the loop of Zack's die-trying attempt into something that we look forward to. Not the dying part, but the part we meet those characters again. Dying, in the most part, is not a pleasant experience, nor being seen as a part of a story. Yet in Hades, a death of Zack leads to him getting mocked by his father, changing a failure state to world building. Characters remember your triumph and failed attempts. They might tell you, "Hey Zack, I see you getting further each attempt. We are rooting for you," or something. Dialogue like these makes me feel like I'm doing something to the game world. You feel like you are causing an impact, even when you failed. This is what a game should strive to do, by putting a sense of accomplishment even when a player quote-unquote failed. Not to deter them away, but to encourage them to try something new. Death is not the end. It's more like an opportunity to visit your friends back in the house of Hades, or just play with your dog. Fortunately, all the uncles, aunts, and cousins of Zack are willing to help with the rebellion, in the form of boons. They can provide power up to your ability in their signature power, such as Poseidon's sea power, Zeus' lightning power. Zack can randomly get them through a generated maze, makes each run feel unique. Some of them are game-changing, some of them are small but still very important, like inflicting damage over time with Hangover. They sure are hard to notice, but once they stack up, you see the true power of mathematics. By min-maxing your build with the choices you have, makes every run anew. And of course, you can chat with gods and goddesses too, building your relationship with them and earn your token of appreciation. But beware, gods are capricious in Greek mythology. They can be friends with you or kill you in the blink of an eye. Sometimes Zack are met with a choice between two boons. If you choose one of them, the other god/goddess might feel a bit left out, and they won't stutter to give you hell in this chamber.
It isn't wise to go against me, nephew, both in matters large and small. I am not known for being charitable to the insolent.
But if you pass the trial of fury, you shall receive 2 boons in one chamber. Is it a good deal? It's left for you to decide.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Now, Zagreus, once you arrive, we'll have to find for you a suitable mate, won't we? Fine young man such as yourself. Normally, there's much to choose from around here, with some exceptions, of course, such as my cunning daughter, Artemis, willfully uninclined to take a mate at all.
On the other hand, they might be friends with each other, like combining 2 different boons into a dual boon, having 2 effects in one power-up, like Zeus and Poseidon's Sea Storm, combining the power of wave and lightning. Mechanics like these increase variations of each run, making it feel fresh from the first hour to the 50th hour and so on. And even now, I'm still finding new combinations after quite some time. I mean, I've been playing it since early access, got it on my personal Steam account and Switch. And all these variations feed into the replayability of Hades. I'm surprised by the sheer amount of content, and it is quite impressive for an indie game to have. By combining a wide range of genre, utilizing strength from each of them, formed an unexpectedly satisfying game with tons of approach to build replayability. A dash of dating simulator to simp on those god and goddess, lovable characters, turning each failure into a chance to advance in the story. What more do you want? So, final verdict. Hades is what I look for in a game. No matter what the game is about, one has to overcome challenges and boundaries set by the type of game it is. Knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are in terms of themes and game designs. And this game did all that, stretching the game's possibility to places we could never imagine, combining different genres, using different genres in a great way to increase the playtime of this game, not to just stretch those stories out into oblivion. This game not only is a treat to play, but also a very, very successful example of how to design a game. I would give it a 4 good boy servers out of 5. I mean, it's pretty good. Just go play it, goddammit. It just came out 2 weeks ago. It's still flaming hot. That's it for now. Bye bye.